Okay, Smackdown. I'm going to make this very short because literally there wasn't much here. There wasn't much here. I mean, what did they give us? They gave us a statement that CM Punk's going to be there next week. They tried to tout what's going to happen in Berlin next year in August. Why? They're setting up tribute to the troops next week where CM Punk is going to be showing. So there was not much here. Yes, we had Randy Orton, and I will get to that in a minute. But generally, they did very little here. I'm telling you, it's like they're in a holding pattern. And it's boring. But it's not 100% boring. But let's get started. What did we get for the first match? Bobby Lashley versus Butch. Look, Ridge Holland is not there. Supposedly, he got sick of everything. He got tired of losing. He left. So we got Butch by himself. And he got his ass handed to him by a Bobby Lashley. I didn't expect Bobby to lose here. If he didn't... Look, after what's going on with him and B-Fab and the Street Profits, there is no way he was going to lose to Butch. Did Butch look okay? Yes, of course. Butch can wrestle. No one says he can't. But what is Butch actually getting here? There's only two possibilities. Two guys. Two. We're going to have Ridge Holland go away and come back in the beginning of January. And then they're going to be a tag team again. Maybe Sheamus will join them. Maybe. Two. The other one that looks like the most sense. He'll come back next year. And because there's only one more month left. Or he will come back at the end of the year. And then Butch and him are going to have a feud. Do I believe that's wise? No, because it made no sense to even break them up in the first place. I don't see the reason why the Brawling Brutes... They don't have a lot of tag teams that look legitimate, that feel legitimate, that are legitimate. Look, the Brawling Brutes have been around for quite a while. They mean more than Austin Fury and the Grayson Waller, even though they've done well together. They actually are a good pairing. It's like, it's a rare occurrence when they actually compare two people together that work. That is the WWE's MO. They throw people together in the hopes they work. They don't just keep people together that already been a tag team. They just rip them apart. That's what we get. And after seeing Pretty Deadly beat the crap out of Butch, you wonder where they're going with Butch. But like I said, either it's going to be Rich coming back a little bit different, and he's going to be tag teaming again. It'll be like it never changed. But there'll always be that little tension there just to make the Brawling Brutes interesting. Or he will come back. Maybe they'll tag together, but then he'll turn on Butch, and then there'll be a feud between them. I don't know when Sheamus is coming back. It would be good if he came back if the latter happened, because people still love the Brawling Brutes. I'm just saying. Next. What did we get from Santos Escobar and Joaquin? I believe his name is Joaquin Wilde. Not much. Right now, El Toro is out. He's been nailed by Santos Escobar. Carlito's out. He's nailed by Santos Escobar. Ray is still out after surgery. So you only got him left. And now he's doing this because he wants to get his team back. Because the LWO is supposed to be his. But Ray decided to bring an outsider in Carlito. It's supposed to be about him. So he's tearing everyone down so he can bring them back. Supposedly. But here's the thing. The match was fine. I wasn't surprised that Joaquin Wilde lost. I'm not surprised Wilde lost. But guess what? Who comes out to save him? It is Dragon Lee, who is the next LWO member. It is so blatant what they're doing. He will become an LWO member. When Ray comes back, he'll probably be brought in, unless Carlito's going to be the one that's going to do it. Because the way it looks, once Carlito comes back and El Toro comes back, supposedly coming back, you're going to have him probably leading until Ray comes back, and then he'll let a Dragon Lee join the LWO. That's the way it looks like it's going to be. Does that sound bad? No, but it's so freaking blatant that it should have been the opposite. Let's make this clear. Carlito didn't have to be joining the LWO. He could have been left on his own so he can build up his reputation again. Because Carlito should have had time by himself to build himself up before he joins the LWO. No, we didn't get that. He just joins automatically. And now with Dragon Lee, who should have been thrown into the LWO because he's already got a very substantial history with Ray. Look, Ray went to NXT. He tried to convince everyone that Dragon Lee is the future of Lucha Libre. Not his son Dom, Dragon Lee. So he already was ready to join LWO when he was brought in. But no, they didn't do that. They made it about Carlito. And once we didn't even get the match with Carlito, and I know there was some people that's like Solomonster was glad Carlito wasn't really getting that. Or a Jesse, well, I don't remember if Jesse disagreed with JD about when it came to Carlito at Survivor Series not being there. But JD didn't care. Solomonster didn't care. But I do. Because that's what the story was supposed to be about. Guys, I don't know about just Alex. I think he didn't really care that much either. But if you're producing this story of Carlito coming home after 13 years working with Ray, he's known for years, and brought him in, Ray gets hurt because of Santos, has to have surgery, wouldn't it make sense for Carlito to be the one to do it, not Dragon Lee? Now, mind you, like I said, when Dragon Lee took his spot, if Carlito was hurt, legitimately, really hurt, or there was some type of situation where he just couldn't be there, I understand. But if he just was off because they just didn't want him there and they wanted Dragon Lee, then why the fuck did you make Carlito LWO in the first place? You should have brought in Dragon Lee first, then make it LWO Carlito next year, because that would have made more damn sense. Because it doesn't. This made no sense. I don't know about anybody else. I don't know about JD. He probably thinks it's foolish to think like this. Or just Alex or Solomon, or maybe even the Slick Daddy. But honestly, I don't get it. If you're producing this story, and the better story would have been Dragon Lee coming in first, then Carlito coming in, then why in the hell you do Dragon Lee first? Because Ray's been dealing with Dragon Lee a very long time, well before Carlito coming back and being seen on TV. I'm just saying, it's stupid. Moving on. We get let's make this clear, Logan Paul coming back. That's interesting. That's important. A tournament coming out for him to get his next number one contendership. That's fine. Getting a new number one contender. But you get this. KO, Grayson Waller, Austin Fury, one member of the NXT roster, Dragon Lee, I believe. Who else was it? I'm trying to remember who else was going to be in there. I'm forgetting someone. I know I'm forgetting someone. I think Santos Escobar as well. So you're going to have Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar, no LA Knight. Don't know why. You get Logan's team, well, Logan's tournament. And there's no LA Knight included. Why? Why no LA Knight? You're using Santos Escobar. You're using no Carlito. You're not using Joaquin Wilde. You're not using I'm just, if you got so many people in the back, but you're still using established wrestlers, what is the point? Now, I can understand if you put one person there or two, but there are 8 spots. You can't just use KO. No problem. You can use KO. You can use Santos Escobar. Fine. But where are all the other people? You use all the same people. Yes, Dragon Lee is fine. But you're using Grayson Waller and using... Why? Why are you using Grayson and Austin Fury? Why would you do that? I'm just saying. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Let's move on to the match itself because it was based after this. KO knocks out Austin Fury while talking to a Logan Paul. It's not fine. Not bad. It was fine. We get the match, and I know KO was going to win. But the question now is, how far are they going to make KO feel important at the end of this tournament? I don't know. Because it feels like they really want to have him versus Logan. That's what I think is where they're going to go. It's not going to be Bobby Lashley. It's not going to be Bobby Lashley. My mistake. It's not going to be Bobby Lashley. It's not going to be Santos Escobar. It's not going to be Dragon Lee. It's not going to be Karrion Kross. No. And I know people say, well, what about Karrion Kross? Karrion Kross has had a lot of time. I want someone else. They screwed up Karrion Kross. I don't care. There's no point in bringing him back. No. Austin Fury, Grayson Waller, I truly believe they should use some other people that have other times that are newer. Because they had their chance with Karrion Kross. And they did it with AJ Styles and got nowhere. Nowhere. And I know people say, well, there you go. He'll be something. Please, you actually think they're going to use Karrion Kross in this tournament to go up against Logan Paul? There's only one person, that's KO. They're just throwing bodies out there. It's not even Bobby is going to be in there. Bobby's not even going to be interesting. He's going to be eliminated by probably KO. I'm just saying. Now, the match that I'm going like, what was the point? So there'd be more dissension for Bayley. That's it. Because it hurts me. Guys, Kylie Sane, who just came back, who I said 100% legitimately shouldn't be part of Damage Control yet. And if she is, why isn't she getting singles matches without Damage Control there to reestablish herself as a legitimate wrestler? When we got War Games, it was fine. I'm not telling you that she can't do great in a group, but we're still going by perception is reality. Let me say that again. Perception is reality. This is legitimately the first true match she had by herself in a ring. And she did fine against Bianca, but I didn't feel anything. You know why? Because since this is the first time she's actually wrestling by herself, and the stakes are, and understand this is stakes because Bianca wants to get her title back. You got Shotzi and Charlotte backing her up. But it's made very clear as Dakota as a translator instead of a Bayley that Io will only let her have a shot if she goes through everyone in Damage Control. Now, I'm not saying Dakota's cleared yet, but she didn't look like she was wearing her knee brace. So hopefully she's all right. But that means she's got to go through everyone in Damage Control. If Dakota's ready, that means Dakota also is going to be nailed too. But Kylie, who just came back, she should be getting credibility as a badass. No. She's just thrown in with the other Japanese wrestlers before she's even had a chance to prove herself again. And now, her first real match, which wasn't bad, but it's against freaking Bianca Belair. Did you actually believe that Kylie was going to win here? Look what happened. Bayley came out, convincing her to do the elbow, which she does that damn insane elbow. That woman just goes like this. I will tell you that if she doesn't have a messed up back, I will be surprised when she doesn't have a messed up back for the rest of her life. Or a messed up hit. Because that woman takes a hard hit. When she jumps, she goes up and she spreads eagle her legs to go straight down on you. She doesn't just go sideways. She goes up, she goes those legs up, and those suckers go straight down. That is how you break your hip if you're not careful. Remember, the mat is just thin foam with plywood under it, with springs. That still hurts. Let's move on. Let me give it to you like this, because we didn't have much here. We have 4 matches and I already said them all. The final segment of the night with Randy Orton was the best thing of the show. Everything else just felt okay to boring. Boring. I'm sorry. Santos Escobar being built up, fine. But I don't feel anything important while he's taking out the remaining member of LWO. I don't feel anything. There's no Carlito. There's no Rey. There's no El Toro. There's nothing. Just him going against Joaquin Wilde, gets beaten, and it's only to try and build up a little Dragon Lee, which he's going to be part of the LWO soon. The women didn't even feel legitimate because Kylie had no previous matches, and to feel her character, she is still the Pirate Princess, but have you seen her act like the Pirate Princess by herself, going out to the ring proving how damn good she is? No. And the remaining matches there, do I care about pretty much Pete Dunne? The Butch. No, I don't care because they haven't given me anything. What do we get? Nothing. So the only segment that meant something was a Randall Keith Orton. He's coming to the show. He was asked by Nick to come to the ring, come to his show, and he wants to sign him for an exclusive contract because he's a free agent. Then you got Adam Pearce showing up on his show saying, how dare you bring him to my show, from my show to your show, and you're going to try and sign him a contract? He says, well, I got the right to do it. Well, Adam has a contract too. They're both in the ring. They call out Randy. Randy comes out, and they're starting to bicker right in front of him. And you get Adam Pearce say, don't you dare touch my arm. Don't you hold me. This is towards Nick Aldis. So I'm not telling you that Nick and Adam Pearce will ever get in the ring together. But I'm going to be honest here. Nick Aldis, a former NWA World Champion, 2-time. Or is it 3? I think it's 2. Then you get a former NWA champion and an Adam Pearce. I don't know how many times he was a NWA champion. I think once. You got 2 former NWA champions who are currently the general managers of Raw and SmackDown having an attitude, start fighting physically with each other. If it was a good pay-per-view like Royal Rumble or like WrestleMania, or maybe if they can't do it on the main shows, it can be like a B show, like Elimination Chamber going into I know it's more like a D, but you could say it's a B because it's just before a WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind seeing Adam Pearce go against a Nick Aldis because they want to prove that their show is the best, that even though they don't wrestle anymore, they are the peak efficiency as general managers. But they're arguing between each other. Paul Heyman comes out and is trying to tell a Randall, do not sign that contract to come here. Go back to Raw, you're safe. And he does his normal stick of, I am the reigning, defending, well, his tribal chief is. But he is the reigning, defending wise man of the of the bloodline. Let's say it like that. There is no one that's going to replace him. I would like to see someone try to replace him, though. It would be interesting. Like, let's say Mr. Stone from NXT shows up and goes to Roman and say, I can do things better than Paul. Wouldn't that be kind of interesting to see if Mr. Stone could keep up with a Paul Heyman? Because there's very, very few managers that really can keep up with Paul. I'm just saying. But this is what we get. We get Solo coming out. We get Jimmy finally coming out after we haven't seen him in a while. They both finally show up. They both get their asses kicked. You get LA Knight coming out finally. He didn't come out in the middle of the show. He didn't come out in the beginning of the show. He finally comes out to save Randy. That means he'll probably have a tag match against Solo and Jimmy. But he finally comes out. Everyone explodes a bit. I won't say it's a bad way to do it. It is a good thing. But the thing is, he was not in Survivor Series, which hurts him and pisses a lot of people off like myself. So he drives away Solo, and we get an RKO for a Jimmy Uso. After that, we get the 2 contracts in the ring. One is thrown to the side, which is Raw. Adam's like, seriously? Dude. Signs it and tells Paul to call Roman Reigns and says, Daddy's home. This is what we got. I actually stretched this out. Guys, it's 18 minutes. Nearly 19 minutes on this video. And I stretched maybe 5 minutes of that. I could have made this shorter because there's very little here. I had to rant a little bit because, honestly, we don't have much for this damn show. Except for Logan Paul getting a tournament for his U.S. title and Randy Orton deciding to sign for SmackDown. That's it. Everything else is like a little tiny bit. And honestly, it wasn't done correctly anyway. Kylie Sane should be more important. And when it comes to Dragon Lee, he should be a part of LWO already. He should have already been a member of LWO if Carlito had to bring him in while Ray is away. That makes more better sense. But he should have been in well before Carlito. I'm just saying, peace.